and thank you all for being here today. My name is Carrie Eldridge. I'm your campaign manager for Long Beach Gives 2025. And like I mentioned earlier, feel free to introduce yourself in the chat, put down your name, put down your nonprofit, who you're here with, make connections as we go. If you have any questions, you can ask them, raise your hand, or you can put them in the chat. I'm joined here today with Michelle Byerly from the Nonprofit Partnership. She is going to be co-hosting with me, and then also Jenny, who is the operations manager for the Nonprofit Partnership. She will be doing the chat. So if you have any questions that you don't want to ask the whole group, you want to ask one person in private, look for Jenny and you can ask it directly to her and she'll get back to you directly. So Michelle, is there anything you want to add to that?
No, welcome everybody. It's nice to see everyone today. Oh, I guess, yes, it's nice to see everyone. Jenny is the new operations manager. So for the campaign, she will be the one that will be helping with all the administrative back end pieces and getting you the money at the end of the campaign. So we're just glad to have her on the team as well. And glad to have Carrie on the team. Carrie helped us close out the year last year for those of you who who participated last year and is excited to be in the campaign this year. So welcome, Carrie.
Thank you. Thank you. So we can go back. Well, we'll go a little bit about what is Long Beach Gives. Long Beach Gives is brought to you as a collaboration between myself as the Long Beach Gives representative, Michelle Byerly, and the whole nonprofit partnership and the Gumbiner Foundation all work together to bring you this incredible opportunity to come together in the city of Long Beach for our nonprofits. We introduce the team. So what we are going to do today is we're going to talk about what is Long Beach Gives, what is an online fundraiser. We're going to talk about 2024, how did it go, and what we learned from it, and then looking ahead, what to expect from 2025. For those of you who are brand new to Long Beach Gives, we'll talk about who qualifies to be a part of it, how the application process goes, how the selection process goes, and the benefits of being a part of the Long Beach Gives team. Michelle, is there anything you want to add there?
Nope. And then while we're talking, just please feel free to raise your hand, ask questions in the chat, and then we'll also have time at the end for any questions you may have as well. And then if something didn't get answered today or it's an individual to your organization question, we'll follow up after that.
Exactly. And then go ahead and you can take it away with what is Long Beach Gives.
Great. So thank you, Carrie. So for all this info session is for returning and new organizations. And so a lot of this may be just reminders for those that are returning and for new organizations, hopefully something that gets you excited about participating. So Long Beach Gives is now entering its 7th year, and it is a citywide online fundraising campaign. And its intentions is to bring the whole city together to support the nonprofit sector and to build philanthropy in the community. And so it helps to do a few things. We raise awareness for the organizations and the impact they have in the community. At the same time, raising those unrestricted funds that are necessary for all the programs and services that you are all doing every day in the community. It's a great way to get new donors, to ask your donors again, to motivate your supporters. And it's a wonderful way to bring businesses, city leaders, and nonprofits all together to have an impact in the community. And really, you know, a couple of the highlights of why giving days are important for communities and for nonprofits. They create that culture of giving, that spirit of philanthropy within the city. It gives you an opportunity to reach those new donors when donors go online. So it's an online campaign. Long Beach Gives has a website where all of the nonprofits are located, where people go to make donations during the campaign. Oftentimes they're looking at who else is raising money that day and also making an additional donation. And so reaching new donors, helping you to communicate your message to a broader audience by the marketing and awareness building that we do as a campaign. It makes giving easy. So it's one-stop shop for people to give to many nonprofits that they support in the community. And then it raises awareness for the sector's impact. So again, it gives us an opportunity not only to talk to our donors and the broad community, but to really make sure that our leadership in the city and in the community knows about our impact and has a concentrated time to really support that. One of the best parts of Giving Days is the peer-to-peer fundraising. So it contributes to the success of campaigns. And what that means is that you as an organization go to your supporters, your participants, your team, your board, and ask them to reach out into their networks and help you raise funds. So crowdfunding is where one organization is raising those funds and speaking directly to the community for donations. Peer-to-peer fundraising is where each organization has a team of supporters who are each reaching out into their networks and helping to raise funds for the organization. Just like if you were to do a run or a walk out in the community for Alzheimer's Association or American Heart Cancer Society. And so that peer-to-peer fundraising really amplifies the impact of the organization, and it allows people to make that personal connection to the impact that you have. And reflecting on Long Beach Gives, so this, again, we're entering into our 7th year. It has been an amazing 6 years of successful campaigns by the nonprofit. So Long Beach Gives is providing a platform, it's providing resources, but each nonprofit is really raising their own funds during the giving day. And over time, we have helped those nonprofits raise $10.2 million for impact locally here in Long Beach, which is amazing. So give yourselves a round of applause back there behind your Zoom screens. It's been a great 6 years, and we're really looking forward to the next the next 6 or 10 years. So just a little bit of history for those of you who are new. In 2019, that was our first year of the campaign. So prior to 2019, Julie Meenan, the executive director of the Josephine S. Gumbiner Foundation, studied giving days as a master's project and wanted to bring a giving day to the community of Long Beach. And so she looked at giving days, what was successful in similar sized communities, and brought those best practices here, developed that steering committee, partnered with the nonprofit partnership and other funders in the community like the Munzer and Miller Foundation. And we started in 2019. Our goal was 75 organizations and $250,000. And it increased to 93 organizations and raising $822,000, which was amazing. And what you'll notice as the years went on is that those number of peer fundraisers really contributed. And there's years where there have been less and there have been more. And I think that's one of our goals, is to get as many community members involved as possible. So the next year, in 2020, we were so fortunate to have had the campaign that started in 2019 online when we all had to move into a virtual space. And so that year, organizations raised $1.7 million. And then we'll fast forward to 2024. Last year, there were 270 nonprofits who received 9,300 donations and raised $2.12 million, which was our greatest year to date. And so congratulations to all of the nonprofits. Some of those, we tell our sponsors and our donors their ROI is for every dollar that they're giving, the organizations are raising $10. 78% of nonprofits gain new donors. There's so many positive reasons to participate in Long Beach Gives. So we're so glad to see some of you back here today, and also for those new nonprofits who are going to join us for this 2025 campaign. I mentioned sponsors, and I'm going to pass it off to Carrie in a minute, but this is possible because of our steering committee, and many of those in the steering committee are also sponsors of the campaign. So we have huge support from our community foundations that are in Long Beach. They're listed here, as well as businesses that financially support the campaign. They make it possible for us to have a platform and the website and all of the resources and marketing provided by the campaign so that nonprofits can run that campaign in September. And that platform we have is Mighty Cause. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but that's changed over the years for some of you who have been here before, but it's the same platform as last year. And it really allows nonprofits to have those peer fundraisers, and the place where there's a one-stop shop on our website where everyone can go and look at all the nonprofit impact in the community. So I'll pass it off to you, Carrie.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Yes, 2024 was an exceptional year. It was very successful for our nonprofits. As you mentioned, 78% of them found new donors during Long Beach Gives 2024. I think that really speaks to having it as this online platform that equals the playing field for everybody, whether you're a multi-million-dollar goodwill nonprofit. When your people come to donate, they see all the other nonprofits doing good in Long Beach. So they see the neighborhood foundations or the groups that are all volunteers. It kind of equals that playing field and allows people to be exposed to nonprofits that they wouldn't necessarily be. So looking forward to
Carrie?
2025. Yes.
All right, someone's asking, what does it take to be a sponsor?
Great
You want to share
question.
them?
That is a fantastic question. Do you want to take that, Michelle?
Carrie, I think this is you. I'll start, but I'll let you join in. So a sponsor is just providing some sort of financial support or in-kind support to the campaign itself. And so our campaign sponsors are typically funding Long Beach Gives campaign with their sponsorship dollars so that we can then provide marketing, training, resources. The summit, we'll talk about all the things we're going to talk about a little bit later, but you can contribute any amount to be a sponsor. Typically, we're looking at those sponsorships to start at $500 or $1,000, but we have sponsors up to $50,000 giving to the campaign so that we can have those resources, the prizes, all of the pieces that make the campaign successful. And so we are always looking for more businesses and foundations to help support the campaign. And we won't go into it here. We'll talk more about it in the orientation, but also each nonprofit really should be partnering with a business or businesses who support their cause during the campaign. If we could get every nonprofit to work with one business during the campaign, we would have 270 businesses supporting Long Beach Gives each year. So there's many different ways for businesses and other donors and sponsors to get involved on a different level rather than just giving the day of the campaign. But Carrie, anything you would like to add?
Yeah, no, I think you covered it. So sponsor is anyone who gives financially to Long Beach Gives or in kind. So if you do photography and you're able to take a number of pictures that we can use in a campaign, or you can do any in-kind work, we would add you to the sponsor list also. But yes, we are always looking for more businesses. I've been knocking on doors for the last 3 months now, talking to people and saying like, hey, we have this amazing thing. We have this platform where 300 nonprofits all doing good in one city come together. And if you give me $1, they will make 10. So we're always looking for more connections with businesses on that front.
And Carrie, Linda is also asking a follow-up question if we have a deck of benefits. So maybe that's something that we could also upload.
Yes, absolutely, we do. Or can you get her email and I will get it to her?
Of course.
And it should be on the Long Beach Gives website. If it isn't now, all of those things are kind of being updated right now. So all of that would also be located on the website, but we'll make sure to share that out with you all. Thank you.
Well,
Great
thank
question.
you. Those are really great questions. I appreciate it because that is the thing I've been thinking about for the last 3 months, building sponsorships. So let's go on to talking about this year. What is Long Beach Gives 2025 going to look like? The date is going to be September 18th, 2025. The campaign does open 1 week early, so we'll open on the 11th for people to start giving. You can give anytime during that week. It's going to culminate on September 18th. September 18th will also be the day that all the prizes are based off of. So that is Long Beach Gives Day. So who's eligible? How do you apply? Let's look forward into that. To be eligible for Long Beach Gives, you have to have a couple things. One, you have to be a 501c3 tax exempt nonprofit in good standings with both the feds and the state. Or you have to be fiscally sponsored organization who meets the eligibility requirements. The second thing you have to have is you have to actually be providing program services within the city of Long Beach and to the Long Beach residents. That is something that when you do apply for the first time, we do look up and research and make sure that you're a nonprofit that's, not in Seal Beach, but actually in Long Beach doing good for our people because it is Long Beach Gives after all. Do you want to add anything to eligibility?
And I'll just add, there are organizations, and I know some of you may be on the call where your location is outside of the city, but you are serving quite a few Long Beach residents. And that is also, if you feel like there's any question on that, please reach out to the team. But as long as you're providing services either within the city of Long Beach primarily or to a majority of residents within the city or from the city of Long Beach, then you can be eligible. So just reach out if you have any questions.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Go ahead, Michelle. You can talk about the IRS.
So, and organizations, like Carrie mentioned, you need to be in good standing with the IRS, with the federal government, and also with the state of California. And so there's 2 places, if you're a registered nonprofit, where you register and fill out your forms annually. There's a link here, and Jenny's going to put that in the chat. It's part of the application where we're asking you to check your status. For many reasons, nonprofits may fall into delinquency. That will pop up when you go onto the Mighty Cause website as an organization that is not in good standing. And so what we want you to do is check now and then we can help support you if you need to fill out paperwork, or we could just make sure and monitor that you're moving in the right direction so that by September that you're in good standing to be able to participate. And so please check in with this. It's part of the application, but it's always great to check in and make sure that you filled all your forms out, that you're active with the IRS and the state, and then that you're able to raise funds when September comes around.
Yes, keep in mind, it will take a few months, especially with the state, to get things cleared up if you need to. So look today, act now if you want to run a Long Beach Gives campaign. And like Michelle said, we'll walk you through it. We'll help you. And no matter what, you can run your campaign. And when you get it cleared up, then we can send you the check. So either way, you can run. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about how to participate. So let's go to the next slide, the process for new and returning nonprofits. So there's a couple steps. I'm going to try to simplify this as much as I can. There's applying and there's registering. So first and foremost, every nonprofit, whether you're a 7-year veteran or a first-year novice, needs to apply. You need to go to longbeachgives.org, click on the application. It's not because the returning orgs are being re-scrutinized, it's because we're updating everyone's information. We want to know who your champion is, new emails, new phone numbers. We're going to update everyone's information for 2025. So if you are a new or returning org, go to Long Beach Gives and apply. After that, we will register with the Mighty Cause website. So we can move forward to the next slide because we're going to go in detail how to do that. So on the left-hand side, you will see what it looks like when you go on to longbeachgives.org. The first thing you'll see down is the red Apply Today button. That's where you're going to do the application for Long Beach Gives. That's going to come to me and Michelle and Jenny. And if you are already in Long Beach Gives from previous years, once you fill out that application, you can come right back to longbeachgives.org and click Already Approved, Register Now, and get started on Mighty Cause. If this is your first year, if you've never done a Long Beach Gives campaign before, please wait. We will go through your information. We will verify that you're a nonprofit or that you're fiscally sponsored. We will verify that you're doing good deeds in the city of Long Beach, and then you'll receive an email from me saying, congratulations, you're approved. At that point, come back to the longbeachgives.org website and click Already Approved, Register Here. So I'm hoping I'm making that clear. There's going to be 2 steps. You're going to apply, and then you're going to come back and register. Once you click Register Here, it's going to take you to this next screen that you see on the left. You just click Register again. At that point, you're going to log in or sign up with Mighty Cause. So if you're a returning org, you're going to put in your login, your nonprofit's going to pop up on the screen and you're going to click on it. If you're brand new, you're going to sign up and create a login for Mighty Cause. And then you're going to search for your nonprofit either by name or EIN number. And once you put in your EIN, you'll find your nonprofit that you're going to be raising money for, and you can start creating your Mighty Cause page. Is there anything you want to add, Michelle, on this front?
Yeah, I'll just add that the Mighty Cause platform is connected to the 990 information, the IRS. That's why you're searching for your nonprofit that way. If you are a fiscally sponsored organization, and it says this at the bottom, you need to, at the bottom of the registration form, you can just click an email and support at Mighty Cause for assistance. They'll have to set it up separately because it's typically the first way to do that is to pull it in from, so do not put your fiscal sponsor organization in there. If you are fiscally sponsored, please reach out to that support at Mighty Cause. And these slides will also be made available. They may be hard to read right now on the Zoom, but they're there so that you can look through them later if you're looking for a step-by-step guide. And also Carrie, I'm sure she has said this and we'll say it again, is more than happy to walk anyone through this that needs support. So feel free to call or email. We'll have more information on how to contact us too.
Yes, that will be the second to last slide. Once we get there, you guys can have your pens out, write down my number, my email. I am here to support you. That is my entire job. So the last step is once you are on Mighty Cause, you fill out their registration questionnaire. That is what they use to verify with the IRS. And then you click submit. At that point, you are enrolled, you are registered. Now's the fun part. Now you get to make your page, share your story, tell everyone what you're doing. And to do this, you're going to go into your page, and in the upper left-hand corner, there's a to-do list. And this is the list that's going to help you create your Mighty Cause Long Beach Gives page. You're going to upload your logos, your banners, your information. So you want to do this before the end of May. Let's see. You can go to the, did you want to add anything to the to-do list?
No, and so if you are an organization that's participated, it will have all of your information from last year there. On May 30th, we're going to be switching to the new campaign year. So if you do not update it by the 30th, then it will not pull in your new information. And so that's why we want to make sure that everyone who's involved this year gets their to-do list completed by May 30th. It will have your information, your logo, all of that, but you want to make sure that it's up to date and everything in the system is up to date.
Yes. And when Michelle says we'll be switching to the new campaign list, that means that if you haven't registered on Mighty Cause, your site will go black until you come in and register and say, hey, I'm in the 2025 campaign. So if you were here last year, it's going to be easy. Your stuff's already going to be there. It's going to be ready to go. Just do it. Don't go black in May. So let's go over some important dates. We are asking all organizations, new and returning, to please fill out an application. It's about 12 questions. It will probably take you 3 to 4 minutes. We're hoping that everyone who's going to be in Long Beach Gives 2025 will have that in by the end of April. So we've got 20 days or so till then. Of course, we will take applications after that point, but that's our goal, to make May run smoothly. After that, anyone who is new and has applied by April 30th will be notified by May 9th. That gives them a couple weeks to get that to-do list done before we are going to switch over to the 2025 campaign and prepare for the press release. So that is our timeline. Another couple other dates to save on your calendar. If you are going to do a 2025 Long Beach Gives campaign, we are requiring that all nonprofits show up to the virtual orientation. It will be May 15th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Ideally, your champion will be the one there, but if for any reason they're out of town, they're sick, send someone, anyone. We do want every nonprofit to send at least one person onto that orientation. It's when you're going to get all the important details about what's available, when it's available, and what we have planned for 2025. The other date to block in your calendar is July 17th. That's going to be the day of the summit, and I know someone already asked about the summit. For those of you who were at the summit last year, I was not, sadly. I heard it was amazing. Everyone walked away feeling energized and excited and connected. So we're doing it again, and we're doing it because of our amazing donors that are willing to donate the money for us to all get together. This year it's going to be at the Reef. We will be serving breakfast thanks to an amazing donor, and we will be doing some great education at the Long Beach Give Summit. The other important dates, obviously, early giving begins September 11th. We will be having a kickoff party as we do every year, and the giving day is September 18th. Is there anything you want to add, Michelle?
Nope, that's it. And a lot of the details, the location, all of that, that is shared once the campaign is going, you're registered, and then we do that in orientation and as the campaign goes on. So make sure you're also signed up for our email list. And if you're not, we can, the best way to get on that is to fill the application out and put your contact information there. So
Carrie, just sorry, one
Yes.
quick question. Laura from Arrow Bear Music Associates says, my organization's to-do list has all blue boxes with white check marks. Does that mean we're good to go? Do you know, in the Mighty Cause?
It could be, because I know they're returning. I can double check. Have her send me an email, and she'll get my email on the last slide, and I will double check for her. But that sounds about right.
Thank you.
yeah, and then even if it's checked, go in there and make sure that the information's current. So it means you have the information in there, but it may not be up to date. So I would just double check the information that's on your page that it's accurate, but it would mean that you'd be able to be published. Okay, why online giving matters. So together we raise the money for awareness and support, and online giving is really a way to connect with the community that that we want to connect with. And I think a lot of people are online, and they have been for the last 5 or 6 years, especially when we moved virtual. And so a lot of organizations are using this just as an additional way to reach out to donors and make an impact. And so we just want to review, and we do some of this in our summit and a little bit later, but how this fits into your giving day. So if you are new, you may be asking, well, I have an event and I already ask if I have an annual campaign. How does this fit into my calendar? And we really believe that there isn't, because the entire community is working towards Long Beach Gives at the same time, being a part of that movement, it doesn't feel like a burdensome ask for organizations or for donors. It's the ability to give an additional time or to contribute when the rest of the community is contributing, when 10,000 other donors are giving, is something that we want you to make available to those that support your organization. And so it may be that you have a gala, you have an event during Long Beach Gives that helps contribute to your organization's goal. Whatever makes the most sense to you is the way that this fits into your calendar. And so we just look at the different ways some organizations have taken this as, instead of having an event in the fall, they do Long Beach Gives campaign and put their resources there. And so it's a really efficient and effective way to raise funds without a lot of costs on the side. It takes time and commitment, but it doesn't take a lot of funds otherwise. And so we really think that it's wherever you are as your organization. So for one organization, this may be the first campaign that you're running, and you may have 25 donors that give to your campaign, and that's amazing. And in year one, in 2019, we had that for organizations. And now 6 years later, they have 200 donors and they're raising over $10,000. And it's about that journey and building that donor list, especially for those organizations that don't generally do an annual giving campaign or engage much with individual donors.
Absolutely. So for those of you who are new to Long Beach Gives, our website that we use is Mighty Cause. It's the Mighty Cause online platform. There's a few reasons why we chose Mighty Cause. I know there's a number of online platforms that all do giving days, but Mighty Cause is super user-friendly, both for you as the organization, trying to tell your story, trying to upload your graphics, trying to put in your videos. It's super user-friendly. They are helpful. They do training, support. You can reach out to them at any time. It's also really easy for the donors. They can donate to multiple organizations at the same time. Checkout is super easy. They can search by council district if they want to donate to organizations in a certain area, or they can search by cause if they want to donate to organizations that are of one cause. So we picked Mighty Cause because of its ease of use. And is there anything you want to add to that, Michelle, with Mighty Cause?
Yeah, there's a shopping cart where donors can put multiple organizations. We are able to send a repeat your donation email for those that are returning. So as the campaign is getting closer, we're able to just send an email to all donors where it says, hey, you gave to these 10 organizations last year. Would you like to give again? And it does provide a place for businesses to have a page where they can either select a nonprofit to support, or they can select to support employee giving with their organization. That was one of our other main reasons for shifting. And we're able to also have, and I'll get into this in the next slide, to keep the processing fees low by moving to the Mighty Cause platform. And so for platform fees, for nonprofits that are participating, there is no upfront fee for you to participate in the campaign. All contributions made through Long Beach Gives do have a 6.5% fee, which is the credit card fees, transaction fees, what we pay the platform to be able to use the platform, and also the very low administrative and processing fees. And so, and all of that is, and that's the processing. I know it's kind of on there twice, but those are those transaction fees for anything that's there. And donors may choose to cover this, as in many of those giving platforms, they can cover this fee during the checkout process. It increases that donation by 6.5% so that you're getting their true costs. So if they were donating $100, it would be increased to $106.50. And then those fees would be taken off before you receive your final check. And so about 60% of online donors typically, nationwide, will cover those fees. And so that's just something that's built into that website. Okay, I'm going to pass it back to Carrie to talk about our capacity building.
Our capacity building training and support. So this is essentially what you will get from us if you are a part of Long Beach Gives. And it's available to you at no cost because we have all those funders and businesses who are backing us. So the first thing we're going to go over is the resources and support. We have fantastic online resources. We have hours and hours of trainings all broken down into 15-minute sessions. So anything you want to know how to do, you can go online and find a training on how to create a website, how to reach certain organizations. We have a campaign guide that has a downloadable marketing calendar which is amazing because it will just integrate with your own Google Calendar or Outlook calendar, and it will pre-populate important dates for you. So you don't have to remember, it will remind you. We have posters and postcards. Long Beach Gives marketing and awareness campaigns. So we do put out a lot of marketing, both online and in the community, between newspapers and billboards and paid online ads. We do the training summit, which is a big event that everybody loved who came to last year. So I'm hoping all the orgs come again this year. And then we also do prizes and incentives on the Long Beach Gives Day. Is there anything you want to add to that?
All of this will be located on the Long Beach Gives website. We are working on updating everything. So by the time orientation happens, everything will be updated and available to you. And we'll be adding workshops and online trainings and those types of things as we go. And then you'll get more information on what prizes will look like this year and the training summit and that orientation as well. But all of this does get located on the Long Beach Gives website. There's still resources from last year. Some of those are still up there. And then we'll be adding to that as we go. So if there's something that you feel like if you've been participating in the past or you're new that you are interested in or you have an idea for, you wish we were providing support in a certain area, please feel free to reach out, because we take the information from the surveys that we receive from nonprofits and from our donors at the end of each campaign and try to build that into our resources and support. And so we're always looking for that feedback as we're looking to improve the campaign each year.
Yes, absolutely. And then another opportunity to meet us face to face, to share with us what you actually need and what we can provide for you, is at our trainings. In July, we do have 2 in-person trainings that we are planning. The first one on the 10th is going to be kind of a 101. So anyone who has never run a campaign before, or anyone who has run a campaign, but it hasn't been as successful as you wanted it to be, it's a chance to kind of reboot and start again and do a 101 training. On the 24th, we're going to do more of a 301. Like, you already know how to run the campaign, you know how to set up your platform, but you really want to tell your story better. You want to reach more donors. The other training in person is going to be at the summit at the Reef. And then we are going to have 2 working groups, one in July and one in August. And I'm going to have Michelle explain a little more kind of how the working groups work, what the values of them are.
A working group is a space that we open up so nonprofits who are interested in coming in person, maybe they want some time with Carrie, or we may make it topic specific that they'll be able to come and just work in a space and have dedicated time to work on Long Beach Gives. And anyone who's participated in the past, we're going to also go over some key success and other things. Please feel free to put your experience in the chat. But a working group sometimes just gives you a space outside of your own organization where you can work on the campaign with people who are also working on the campaign at the same time. We have tried in the past to bring in some experts, maybe someone on social media or marketing or storytelling that could come in and just help to advise that day. And then our team is also available as well. But it also gives you that time to just be outside of your office and working with the other nonprofits.
Absolutely. And then the last 2 things, we hope to see you in person. I really think if you come out in person, your nonprofit will be that much more engaged. Your Long Beach Gives will be that much more enjoyable. But if you can't make it in person and you need to go virtual, we will have 2 virtual trainings in the month of August, one on the 19th and one on the 21st.
So keys to success. So please do, I know there's a lot of experienced people here, share what was the most successful for your organization during Long Beach Gives. Some of the things just to keep in mind as you're starting to think about your campaign, it's great to have a matching fund. So if you can find a donor you already have who's willing to make a donation that you can then put up on your page as a match, where each donor then gets a 1-to-1 match. If you can have a business that's supporting or employee giving, those are great to have, and they really do boost your campaign. Making sure that fundraising profile is clear, that your story is there, and the impact is clear. Donors are really giving to that impact that you have in the community. Having peer fundraisers, we will have a training just on peer fundraisers. There's still one up, I think, from last year that you can look at, but getting those peer fundraisers, getting them prepared and making sure that they have everything they need to be successful is also a way to be very successful in the campaign. Donor levels, that's up to you. Having different donor levels, we'll have different sessions that will cover some of this. And then really the 2 things: prepare early, assign that champion, and and give it time. So even if you know that person's going to be busy, you can start now building out social media calendar, building out an idea of who may be, what you're going to support your peer fundraisers with. So starting early and spending some time each week just on what you may need to focus on for your campaign, and then just making the most of early giving. So the campaign is on the 18th, but we do open a week early. That gives you time to start reaching out, to plant seeds with your donors, and to start raising funds. And so that on that last day, you're really just making that last push. And I hope some people are sharing. I can't see the chat, so I hope there's some great information being shared in the chat.
Kelsey is asking if you can touch on what a champion is a little bit more.
Oh,
That's the
well,
next
it's
slide.
nice that you've
Good
asked.
question.
So here we are.
So the champion is your point person that will lead your Long Beach Gives campaign. We highly, highly recommend that every nonprofit who's running a campaign picks one person who is the point person.
We don't recommend, we require that you have one main point of contact.
Yes. This is not only the person who's going to build support for the team and attend the trainings, but this is our contact. This is the person that when Jenny's going to send you that check and she has a question about where to send it, that's the person she's going to call. So we require everyone have a champion. This is the person who's going to oversee the marketing. They're going to kind of create the donor engagement. They're also going to create the engagement of the team around them from your own nonprofit and get everyone working together. So one person should be the champion for your Long Beach Gives campaign. Do you have anything?
And I will add, the champion is really, the main thing is they're the main point of contact and they have the information and they can disseminate that out. It can be multiple people. We're happy to have multiple points of contact, but we do need one person that we can reach out to if there's anything we need from you. The things that they ensure happen, that doesn't mean they're responsible for every piece, but the things that you'll want to ensure that champion will want to ensure happens are that there's a team supporting the champion and supporting the campaign, that someone on your organization's team is attending those trainings, that there's peer fundraisers recruited, that there's marketing that's happening with the campaign. Donors are thanked at the end of that campaign and engaged along the way, and that you're learning what worked for your organization and taking that into the next year. And so that doesn't all fall to a champion. Every organization is different and every organization approaches the campaign differently. But the champion just is that point of contact that knows that these are the pieces that need to happen and then helps the organization ensure that they do. This can be a volunteer, it can be a board member, it can be a fund development person on your team, it can be an executive director. There's no requirement on who this is. We just want to make sure that someone is paying attention to the campaign. And we know that when there's a strong champion, that campaigns are more successful.
And ideally, like Michelle was saying, it can be anyone, but ideally it's someone that can make decisions. Someone that I can reach out to and say, do you want to do X? And they can say yes. I don't have to go back and ask someone else.
Good communicators. I'm going to put good communicator on the top of the list.
Yes. Does that answer the question? We're good? Okay, so let's go back.
Question.
Go ahead. Yes.
So I had a question. Can there be a champion for the champion? Because I know with our organization, our CEO and champion is so busy that he needs a champion. And so that's why
it does not need to be the CEO. If that typically, depending on your organization, maybe the person with the least amount of time. So it just needs to be a person who can make sure they're getting and receiving communication and that the organization is doing the things that they need to do, making sure the application and the website is completed, that you have a plan to reach out to your donors, those things. So it does not need to be the executive director. It just needs to be whoever your organization is designating as the champion.
Okay, thanks.
Yes. And I know Carrie mentioned that decision makers, they just need to be able to get to a decision maker. So I think that it just really, number one is a good communicator.
Perfect. Great question. Thank you, Linda. So I know we've talked about this, but I'm just throwing it out there again because it is key dates. If you haven't written them down, pull out your pen and paper now. Our application deadline is April 30th. Will we accept it after the 30th? Yes. Do we want them all by the 30th? Ideally. Because at that point, we will get back to any new organization that needs to be notified of acceptance by May 9th to give you guys a couple weeks to get that to-do list done before the press release. The other thing, write down orientation. It's required for all participants. It doesn't have to be the champion there. Like I said, if they're out, if they're busy, Ideally, it is the champion who shows up to the orientation, but somebody needs to be there from each org. On May 15th from 10 to 12, it's virtual. It's not going to require a lot. And then the last thing is the press release where all the orgs are announced. Everyone who's going to be in Long Beach Gives 2025 will be announced on May 30th. And we will switch over the webpage so that it's all the 2025 orgs that are present and the other ones will go dark. So anything to add to that, Michelle?
That's it. Let me
Perfect.
advance
So
our-
campaign timeline, one last time, the summit, July 17th, mark your calendars. And then the campaign itself is the 11th through the 18th. And Michelle just went to the last slide, which is great. Thank you all for being here today. My name's Carrie. I am the new engagement manager for Long Beach Gives. I'm super excited for this year. I think we're off to a great start. I came on at the end of last year and I saw all the money that people had earned and I was so impressed. I was the one who was able to send out all the checks and see what had happened in 2024. It was very exciting and I think we're gonna far surpass it this year. Go ahead and go back one if you want, write down my phone number or my email. My email is carrie@longbeachgives.org.
Jenny will put it in the chat and
Jenny can put my
also
phone number in the
hopefully
chat
you'll have
also.
it from, yeah.
If anyone needs anything, call my cell, text me, email me. I'm always around. I live in Long Beach. I love Long Beach, as I know you all do. I am a part of my own neighborhood nonprofit. So we're all in this together and we're going to have a great 2025.